Okay, looks like we're up and running. So in this video, what I want to talk about is a thing called a Ponzi scheme. If you're involved in any form of non-traditional investing, or just in some form of investing you're not really familiar with, then this is a concept I think you need to be aware of. It's a thing that's out there that happens, you need to be equipped to at least perhaps sniff this out and protect yourself. So I just want to give you the real sort of basic rundown. I encourage you to do your own research, do your own kind of looking around. There's probably other resources out there that may describe this in more detail. Alternatively, if I get enough interest or enough requests, I may do another version of this video with with diagrams and whiteboarding and stuff, rather than just talking to the camera. So anyway, Ponzi scheme. It is basically it's an investment scam, and in very simple terms, it works like this. I come to you and say I have this awesome investment opportunity, and I can give you about a 10% return per month, which is really good, obviously. But don't take my word for it. Just invest a little bit of money with me, prove it out, and then if you like what you see, then you can get involved more. So give me $1,000, and I'll show you how it works. So you hand me $1,000, and I stick it in my pocket, and a month later I come back and I hand you $100. So 10% return as promised. And what have I actually done? Well, I pulled $100 out of my pocket that has your $1,000 that you gave me in it. And so second month comes by, I just pull another $100 off that pile that you gave me, hand it back to you. And as you can see, if need be, I can keep up this ruse for 10 months, purely based on the money that you handed me. Basically I can give you the $1,000 back. Obviously at that point, if you try and keep going, I'm in trouble. But Ponzi schemes always collapse in the end. But anyway, so let's say 3 months in, you're like, oh wow, this is really good. This is the best investment I've ever come across. So here, let me. How much more can I invest with you? And so you give me, I don't know, $10,000, and so then another month goes by, and I've got to give you $1,000 back, or $1,100 back, and I can do that because you gave me 10 grand. But I can also say the other thing I can do is say, well, look, compounding interest is even better. So instead of me giving you the $1,000, you can reinvest that $1,000 each month. So in fact, the first month you reinvest the $1,000. Now instead of having $10,000 with me, you have $11,000 with me. And so then, the next month it'll be $1,100. The month after that it'll be $1,210, or anyway. But so there you go. It's like the whole thing just keeps compounding, and you're like, well, heck, that's an awesome idea. Yeah, it's like it'll just keep growing. So at that point, I don't even need to. I don't need to give take money off your pile and give it back to you. All I have to do now is send you an email with your account balance that keeps growing. As long as I don't screw up the math, that's perfectly believable, and you're none the wiser. Now, and that's all assuming at this point that it's just me and you, that you're the only person that I have on the hook. Now, if I have, if you've told some friends, I've recruited other people, now there's a whole bunch more money coming in. I have a bigger pile to draw from. So, some people may decide, I'm not so sure I want to pull my money out. Or some people say, no, I don't want to do the reinvestment. That's okay, because I have a big pile to draw from. And as you saw from the outset, worst case scenario, I can, for any one given person, I can keep up the roost for 10 months from the time of their last deposit. So, although, and at some point, someone, and obviously I'm skimming money, or just spending the money from the pile for my own wild and profligate lifestyle, or whatever, or buying houses, or investing it offshore, or whatever, maybe I'm just snorting it up my nose, who knows. Doesn't really matter, really, because you'll never see the money again. So, but at some point, someone needs something, wants something back, there's not enough money in the pile, and then and if I can't tap dance my way out of it, then the gaffer's blown, the jig is up, and the whole thing, collapses in a heap, and whatever's left of the pile of money, if there's anything left, gets seized and divvied up amongst a bunch of very unhappy investors. And scheme was named after Ponzi, guy who first did it, but I believe historically, you may remember a guy called Bernie Madoff, who ironically made off with a whole bunch of people's money, and that was he was like some supposedly amazing investor, and I believe it turned out to just be a Ponzi scheme, and people lost like literally billions of dollars with him. So that is, in real, simple terms, that's a Ponzi scheme. That's more or less how it works. They can do a few things to make it more, a little more complex, jiggle things a bit more, change the numbers, but that's in effect how it works. And you may be saying, well, how do why would I give you $1,000? Well, then really the only other key piece of a Ponzi scheme is a credible story, or a believable story. It doesn't actually have to be credible. So I could say, well, we've discovered this thing where if you do time averaged diagonal short option trading, we can make all this money, and we have AI code that has learned to watch the market and gives us the magic secret sauce, and that's how we get these returns, and you better get in quick. Or it's like, well, the next big thing is Australian widget farming, and it's just amazing, amazing return. And what you find is, typically the stories either there's just kind of it's opaque somehow. It's something you can't really see through or get your head around. That's typically one of the hallmarks. So it's made out, either you throw in like obscure foreign country, Australia, Iceland, Nigeria, somewhere like that, where people are not real familiar with it, or you make it really technically hard to get your head around, because I think it's Isaac Asimov said that technology, if sufficiently advanced beyond, you know, whatever culture you're dealing with, is indistinguishable from magic and really has to be taken on faith. And so I'd say in this day, cryptocurrency is the perfect guise. And I'm not saying, you know, cryptocurrency is this, you know, terrible evil thing. What I am saying is that it's just something that people are unfamiliar with. They don't really understand it. They know it's a thing, and the people made a bunch of money out of it. Most people don't really understand how it works. I mean, I'm pretty technical. I sort of get it, but sort of not. And like, I'm a software engineer, so that's, you know, so it's a perfect guise for something like this, because people just go, beyond me, can't get my head around it. So anyway, that's probably enough. So Ponzi scheme, thing to be on the lookout for. And if there's an investment opportunity that's somewhat opaque, has crazy promised returns, you know, look at it, think, could this be at least ask yourself, could this be a Ponzi scheme? Because it may well be, in which case run for your life, stay away from it. Anyway, God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.